Overwatch 2 is a game with a lot of different things that happen and a lot of aspects that you can credit to be really diverse. Each hero in the game has their own unique thing, there are unique game modes. In a lot of ways, Overwatch 2 as a team-based game is quite unique, and that only gives birth to opinions on the game. There are obviously opinions that suck, and there are opinions that are good. And here I am today going to give my Overwatch hot takes, aka opinions that I think would stir the pot a little bit. First take. Overwatch 2 community is pretty vocal, like they complain about a lot of stuff, and a lot of people in the community hate that, which is understandable, but there's a bunch of people who relate this to be a strictly Overwatch thing, which is just completely not true. Gamers will critique the games that they love or like. It's not just an Overwatch community thing, it's every community thing, every fandom type of thing. I'm pretty sure there's people that complain about The Witcher 3. There's people that complain about Undertale. There's people that complain about Skyrim. That's just how it is in gaming. It's nothing new. It's nothing unique to Overwatch players. Maybe you should branch out more so you can see that. And yeah, take number 2. McCree's new grenade actually requires skill now. This may sound really controversial, and it probably is, but I believe that Cassidy's new grenade is just much better in terms of skill. Now, it's still a magnetic grenade, but you can't heavily rely on the magnetism anymore. You actually have to aim, and it's honestly a deserved punishment. I'm not saying that it's perfect. I do think the time that it homes could be tweaked down a little bit, because a second is just, it's a little long. And I think they're pretty decent counters to people like Tracer, Lucio, Genji. Like, it works pretty well, I would say. Just tweak down the amount of time that it actually homes on a person before it explodes, and we're having ourselves a solid ability from Cassidy that I'm actually kind of happy with. Take number 3. Every time there's changes to Mercy, Mercy's on the tip of every single person's tongue. Pharah Mercy, Sojourn Mercy, Mercy damage boost everywhere. It doesn't matter. A lot of people have had a lot of complaints about the Mercy's damage boosts, and to that I say, nah. Let me explain. Before Sojourn got her nerf, she was very overpowered. She was able to charge up her railgun very quickly, was able to dink off anyone's head who was within range, and you would basically be insta-dead. It's like a Widowmaker slash Hanzo on steroids, and it was very unfair. And then they nerfed it so then you didn't instantly die if you were full HP, which was a good change. I wouldn't say it was enough, but it was a good change. And then you had Mercy damage boosting Sojourn, which inevitably wiped out that nerf that happened, allowing her to be able to one-shot like how she did before. Then people started complaining about Mercy, which I think is a wrong way to go about this. As a person who's played a lot of support, if I'm Mercy boosting anybody, then I'm gonna damage boost the guy with the most damage output possible. Or, you know, situation wise really does depend. But if I as a Mercy could damage boost somebody who if they get a headshot on a person with a certain ability instantly kills them, then I'm most likely gonna damage boost them. The point of Mercy's damage boost is inevitably to get a kill faster or just do more damage because it's needed for the situation. And I say this because we have combos like Pharah Mercy. Pharah Mercy is a huge issue, can't lie. But Mercy is not the problem when it comes to Pharah Mercy. Yes, I would say that they're both the problem, but the only way to go about it is to go about Pharah. Pharah without Mercy damage boost hitting you directly still does a lot of damage. She doesn't need Mercy to be able to operate. But obviously the Mercy's gonna damage boost the Pharah because now there are 2 people in the air and you have 1 person who's basically doing orbital bombardment around spawn. So how are you gonna have the time to be able to deal with the Mercy if the Pharah keeps messing you up? I think I just contradicted my point. Yeah, I think I did. Listen, Pharah's a no-brain character who does way too much damage, if I were to say so myself. Not to say that Pharah doesn't require some sort of mechanical skill, she definitely does, just like every other hero in the game. But hers is so small. Anyone can pick up Pharah. You, my friend, could pick up Pharah today if you have never played Overwatch or even heard of the game, and you would be dominating. But on its own, it's hard to deal with Pharah, and if there's anyone who's deserving of a nerf, it's definitely Pharah. Hot take number 3. Overwatch 2 is one of the best team-based games that are out there in the world. What other game do you know out there that can have 5 people versus each other and have it be really balanced in terms of structure? Maybe Valorant? I don't know, maybe League? With all the games that I've played, I would definitely say Overwatch is definitely up there. And I say it's the best team-based game because every single person on your team needs to fulfill their role in order for the game to be decided, or in order for there to be victory. I mean, obviously it's different if it's open queue. If it's open queue, I mean, it it could still be like that, but depending on how stuff's going in open queue, I mean, maybe you do need the skill, but not so much as role queue. You need your supports to stay alive, you need your damage to, well, do damage, whether that's flanking, doing orbital bombardment against the tank, whatever. The tank tanking in much of the damage and putting pressure and creating space. All these roles have unique things that they can do. With Valorant, you know, one person could easily 1v5. And not to say that that doesn't happen in Overwatch, but it's much more common in Valorant and much more possible in Valorant. And Anna's not gonna 1v5 the entire team. Damn, I would even say an ulting Ramatra couldn't 1v5 an entire team as well, usually. And that's why I say it's the best team-based game out there, because everyone needs to pull their weight in order for the game to be decided. Hot take number 5, I forgot which number I'm on. Your opinion on a hero or the game shouldn't be neglected because of your competitive rank. Yes, even bronze players. The only thing that determines if your opinion is valid or not is how long you've been playing the game and what situations you've gotten into concerning the games that you played. Now, not to say that there can't be bad takes, but people who are in medal ranks simply shouldn't have their opinions disregarded just because they're in medal ranks. Like people who are in top 500 or Grandmaster and Master shouldn't be like that, where they only have the right opinions, because even they have bad takes, and I've seen quite a lot of bad takes from these streamers, dude, myself included. Like if you're in season 1 and I don't know, you have like 250 hours in the game and you're having a really bad stretch of lost games, and now you're in bronze 3, and you say that, hey, we need Soldier nerfed, like right now, dude. Bro is way too OP. I keep getting one tapped. Enough's enough. She's way too overpowered. It shouldn't be like, oh, wait, but you're on bronze 3. Your take possibly couldn't be knowledgeable because you're not in the top ranks. That's so dumb. It should really only matter with experience. Hot take number whatever. Your rank doesn't represent you as a player. Let me explain. As I've said before, Overwatch 2 is the best, in my opinion, the best team-based player, which requires everyone to pull their own weight. And whatever role you are, you need other people in other roles to pull their weight so that you can see success in the game. Obviously, this is very role dependent, but if you're on a losing streak, for example, let's say you're on a 10 loss streak, does that reflect you as a player? I wouldn't say necessarily. You could just have really bad teammates. It's not a very hard concept to grasp. You can have teammates that are, well, bad, who are not pulling their weight compared to the other team, while you're playing as best as you can with your team, obviously, and it just doesn't work out sometimes. Does that mean that you're a bad player? No. There's 4 other people in the team. Obviously, yes, there are going to be games where you lost because you didn't pull your weight, but that shouldn't just say like, oh, because I'm in silver 5, that means I suck. But if you're playing a support and you get like 10k healing every match and you're still losing games, does that mean that you're a bad support player? I don't think so. Like 10k healing, maybe 3k damage, you know, you're doing decent. You know, the stats say this throughout your past games, but you're obviously de-ranking because you're losing those games, which is not always your fault. Now, obviously, I'm going to acknowledge the fact that there are a lot of streamers, pro players, entertainers who play Overwatch 2 and go from unranked to Grandmaster, Masters, or top 500 with every single hero solo queuing comp. Those players definitely exist out there, and it definitely does happen. I forgot this guy I seen on Twitter, but he does a ton of the unranked to top 500 or Grandmasters, and he's doing it for each hero currently. I don't know how far he is, but you know, he obviously has a lot of talent, and it's not like it takes him a long time either. He just does it in a few games as well, so he's really good. There's obviously those really good players that can compensate for their other teammates of not being able to pull the weight, and they're very good at it. And then you have your, I guess, above average people who are not really pro players, but they don't really deserve to be in the rank that they are. Which also brings up another thing, that I wish that the way that you would rank up was more dependent on how you performed in the game, instead of the fact that, okay, you won or lost. I wish it was more dependent on more individualistic statistics of like healing, damage, mitigation, deaths, kills, eliminations, final blows, solo kills, how many assists you got, how many saves you got, how many ults did you stop, how many stuns did you get, what, you know, all this stuff. And that's also another reason why I stopped playing comp, because I've just been heavy D-ranking. And I know it may sound like hopium, and to be honest, it could probably be, but I don't think I deserve to be in the roles that I'm in. I mean, not roles of ranks that I'm in. I think of myself as higher. It's not some like boasting type of thing. I just think I should be in a higher rank, or other people should be in higher ranks, which is why I'd also encourage, you know, stacking with people that you actually know instead of just solo queuing, because solo queuing sucks. Other hot take. The Overwatch 2 community exaggerates quite a lot. I know. I said, now this is not a strictly Overwatch community type of thing, but I guess it's just my own personal thing to bring out. Okay, let's say the Brig changes. So obviously we saw that Brig was getting her 2017 groove back back with some certain season, I forgot which one it was, but she basically got her stun back and her ult's basically getting revamped into something I would say is much better at this point. And everyone, content creators included, were stressed, except me, of course, because I'm quirky. Haha, what's wrong with me? So we saw some footage of how Brig would work, what her stun would be, all of this, and I saw it and I was like, this ain't really that bad for real. And I still stand by it. Her ult change is actually quite underwhelming. The amount of times I've been stunned by a Brig I could count on one hand ever since the revamp. Or maybe I just haven't gone up against good Brigs. Not too sure. Even the one with Mei recently, actually. Mei is more of a CC type of character. She does a lot less damage and people weren't feeling it for real. But look now, there's no discourse on Twitter about it. I'm not seeing a lot of clips about it. So yeah, let's just tone it down and think more realistically, I guess, about how certain changes could actually impact the game instead of saying that this is going to ruin the game right off the bat. But it could be for clickbait though. I could just be taking up the bait right now. Other change. The community hates Mercy. Before Mercy got her nerf / change, people just hated Mercy. Complain about her, mainly her damage boost, I would say, and her survivability. Wait, no, not even survivability, just her Mercy damage boost. That's all people would complain about. And I say this because there's a lot of inconsistencies that I've noticed that have made me come to this conclusion. Soldier was broken on release. Headshotted everyone one tap, didn't matter. Okay, not didn't matter. If you were squishy, you were basically dead if a Soldier was within your line of sight. Then she got nerfed, she couldn't really do it anymore. Then Mercy comes in and was like, oh yeah, it's pretty smart to actually capitalize on the damage that you could do in order to still one-shot squishies. And then now people complain about Mercy? It wasn't a problem before, but now it is? Another one, Pharah Mercy. I mean, I don't know if Pharah Mercy's been a thing for a long time. I only just recently started playing Overwatch 2, obviously. Pharah, pretty powerful, right? Then she got like a nice quality of life changes, which is an overall net buff with how she glides and stuff like that. Now add Mercy to the equation. Now she does a lot more damage, obviously because of the Mercy damage boost. And the problem here is Mercy? I don't really understand. But here's the other consistency. Then the devs did nerf Mercy. They nerfed her Guardian Angel and they nerfed her like survivability. Basically, she couldn't heal as much as she could before, like self-heal. Everyone says yay, and no one talks about the damage boost ever again. So people were complaining about the damage boost. That did not get nerfed, but people just move on. It just makes sense to me that people just hate on Mercy just to hate. Yes, I'm not gonna lie, she can be a mosquito at times. It's hard to kill her sometimes, but it's not necessarily impossible to like land a hit on her. Basically, what I'm saying is, Overwatch community, please be more consistent when you complain. I was expecting more outrage, actually, the fact that they didn't listen to the community at all, because they nerfed like a lot of things about her, but not the damage boost, which is ultimately the problem that people claim is the problem. So it's not that you guys hate Mercy damage boost, you just hate Mercy. Something hot take. Overwatch is the most toxic game to be in the gaming space. Let me explain. This is a very personal opinion, and this is something that only really defined through experience. I've played a lot of Overwatch games, man. Okay, well, maybe not a lot, but I have a decent amount to come to this conclusion. I don't know if this is region-based as in like my servers that I play on, because that could also play a role. But Overwatch, for me, every time I leave a session of Overwatch, there's always been at least one encounter where a person at the end of the game says easy, or flaming the teammates, saying we suck, or the other team doing similar things. Like, I've had way too many games where at least one of those things have happened, and even just a combination of those things. Like, I'd even just be playing a normal game of Overwatch where both teams are sweating both vaginas and balls off, and there's still somebody with the audacity on the winning team to say easy. That wasn't easy, my boy. But yeah, that's a more like personalized hot take, really. I mean, I say this as a dude who's played League of Legends. I say this as a dude who's played Valorant. I've played CSGO, and that even tempts me to say that being a newbie in Overwatch 2 could really suck for you. And I'm just talking about quick play. Damn, that actually reminds me. There's even times where people just say easy in arcade. It's arcade! There's people who sweat their balls off in deathmatch! Pharahs, bruh! You be playing a passing game of deathmatch, queuing up looking for a game, and there's somebody that's gonna sweat their absolute balls off in deathmatch. Like, what are you doing, bro? Just having a passive relaxing time and you're sweating your balls off. Even in arcade, dude. The recent game mode with the new Quest Watch challenges and all that, there will be demon lords who say easy. There'll be your Genjis, Orisas, Junker Queens, you know, those people that you can pick on the other team that will say easy. Bro, It's arcade. Get a life. Oh my god. But yeah, like I said, toxic game in my experience. Though it could be region based, but then that would almost imply me to be a racist, which I am. Hot take number something. Widowmaker needs a harsher nerf. I saw a video on Twitter that was basically showing like how far she could not one-shot from and how far it would take for her to still be able to one-shot you. And I thought like, hey, these changes are actually pretty solid. Then I went on Havana and it didn't matter, bro. Damn, you need to move the payload? Damn, that's crazy. Instead of being shot from spawn, you could be shot halfway up the street. The nerf was definitely a good attempt, and I would say a clever attempt actually. I never thought of actually nerfing her damage fall off by nerfing her one-shot type of thing, because I still do believe that Widowmaker should be able to still be able to one-shot headshot people. Like snipers in games should still be able to one-shot headshot. I went into a game with Widow on Havana and it sucked, bruh, because the change with this is that we could actually leave spawn, but after 30 meters from spawn we die. And yeah, I think those are all the Overwatch hot takes I could come up with. So if you have enjoyed this video, then please do drop a like. That'd be greatly appreciated if you do want to, of course. And also if you're going to check out my other videos or past streams or whatever the case may be, then please do subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated if you do want to, of course. What are your Overwatch hot takes? What are some opinions that don't exactly go with the masses? Let me know in the comments below. And what do you think of the stuff that I said? Let me know in the comments below. And you know what it is, guys. Peace.